Hello. Right, video is recording. Um, yeah, this is going to be a kind of shorter video. I'm just going to be showing off how I go over how I make some of these types of things. And how these can be used to then sounds from that. So let's get started. This is only going to be like half an hour, maybe an hour at the most. We'll see what happens. So the basis of this thing here is like camera type sounds. So we're going to go to the PSE database, type in camera. That's kind of cool. I like that start bit there. Let's take that. See what else we've got. Take this. Now, I'm going to avoid things like this because there's too much kind of noise going on. We want really clicky stuff. Like that's not going to work, this thing here. This is a lot of trial and error. It's easy to mess this up and it can take a while to get good results. So if you're not feeling one design, I would just delete it and just start the whole thing again. Let's try one of these beeps. This is quite nice. Yeah, it's a bit cut off towards the end. I don't think we can use that one. That's quite nice. So we'll take this. I want to avoid all of this stuff here. However, that's not too bad. And I like these clicks here. Quite nice. Okay, then I'm going to layer in some of the sounds I've already made before. So, maybe not these ones. Maybe something like some of these really clicky ones here. I'll turn this down because it's quite loud. So stuff like this. So let's just start trying to kind of build something. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is just like rough guide type stuff. Just for fun, I'm going to use some sort of like bassy thing. So we've got some sort of hit there. Bit much. Bit much. Something that's an explosion, but it doesn't really sound like an explosion. Something like that. That could work. Okay, so let's start kind of chopping this up. If I had one more thing. Let's take one of these. Okay, so we'll just see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work. You sometimes get like a hit or a miss, basically. I'm just going to build something super quick and pretty rough. Then layer this on top. Move this over here. Now that's quite nice, but it's got a weird stereo image thing going on, so I'm gonna for something else. Maybe one of these electricity things I've been kind of working on. Let's see if this works. Sounds quite interesting. It sounds a bit roomy. I don't know if I might use RX on that just to get rid of some of the noise. It's quite nice. You don't need to use the full thing, just kind of crop it up until you're happy with it. Even just like half a second sometimes is enough. I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. Nope. That's pretty cool. So we want to end kind of here-ish. Bring that way down. And then we need something for the ending. So I'm going to ignore that first hit there, and we're going to take this. It's not very well defined, this sound. That's kind of how I would describe it. So fire that in there. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. That's so far. We could add other things to this, like this beat. I'm gonna group all of these together. And then we can kind of see, if you look at the top here, you can see what's sticking out. So this thing here is a little bit too loud. Just by looking at the waveform I can tell it's too loud. Same with one of these things here. So I'll bring that down. Do a wee bit of this. Oops. Yep, that sounds quite interesting. Then we need to add some of this. Now I'm going to, which will console, then reverse that. And maybe this will sound good. Cool, yeah. So this is just like some, I think is a super basic wave, like wave shape and serum, and it's just run through a comb filter. You can get some really harsh results, but I got some good stuff from that. You can do it in Massive X or Massive or whatever you're using. It should be fairly simple. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. This electricity thing, this sticks out a little bit too much. I'm not sure what one it is. I think it's this one. So I'll just bring these down. Now let's try and like edit some of these. Like, what have we got? We've got this one here. A cool thing to try is use something like Cubic G, and then you can bring this up and you get the kind of granular stuff. Not too electric. I'm gonna use something a bit more. Cool. Yeah, good work here. So we want Cubic G. like so. No, I only want it on that first thing there. I don't want it on the second. Oh god. I'm gonna quickly save this actually in case it crashes, because I think we've got some good stuff here. So repair, oops, repair media. And we'll put this in misc projects. Misc, mech, switch. So now we've got that. Still not 100% on that electric, but I think it's going to be cool. I'm not thinking of the sound as this. So it's not going to be exported. It's going to be this exported then processed again and again and pitched down. So I'm going to show you something we can do to this here. That's cool. I want to use this because I like the stereo image thing it's got going on. So I'll put that there and see what happens. Yep, that's nice. I'm quite happy. This sounds a bit like Magic at the moment, which I'm not 100% keen on. So we could try and get rid of some layers, but I do like the high end. Two serum layers. Putting two of them in was a bad idea. Let's try and mute this one. So we could have two variations there. We can just export this with as it is, and then another one with this muted. But for now, let's leave it. So we need to do a bit of processing because currently it's a bit flat. We need to bring out some of the. So what I'm going to do first of all is, of course, transgressor 2. We want to bring out all those little clicky bits because they're going to sound really cool when we pitch it down. We're going to add a touch of bass to this. Yeah, this might get kind of loud actually. I'll put a limiter on here just so I don't deafen anyone. So for the limiter, just waves L1. And let's have a listen. So, but we're getting too much. Let's try too much. So we'll bring this up, bring this down like so. It sounded cool, but cool. So let's leave it like that. Then I don't want to add too much to this because I don't want to process it too much and be stuck with it. So we'll keep it kind of basic at the moment. So the distortion is not something we're that interested for that. So we're going to keep it on clean. Oops. So that's kind of cool, but maybe have the mix down a touch. How long have I been involved in sound design? I've been working at CIG, so Cloud Imperium Games, working on Star Citizen for the past 3 years. Before that, I was working freelance for about 2.5, maybe 3 years, and I'm not sure when I left university, but I've got a degree in audio engineering from Perth University in Scotland, then an honours degree in sound design from Edinburgh Napier, so it's been quite a while. Yeah, it's been very interesting, but I've learned a lot working in-house at CIG. I think that's if you want to do this stuff. Working freelance is one thing, but you can make a lot of mistakes. So if you get in-house somewhere, it's the best way to learn. So I'm gonna just tighten up some of these fades. Like this could introduce some like popping and clicking. So let's just a bit of this. It doesn't need to be anything too severe. Um, there we go. Cool. So Filter Freak, kinda happy with this. The mod down and this up. For things like this, I don't think I would use Filter Freak at 100% mix. I feel like I can do some weird stuff. So I'm gonna keep it like that. Now there is a lot of high end there. So let's add some bass. We've got two options here. Well, yeah, we've got our bass, and then we've got this other thing here from Plugin Alliance, which is Subfilter. They're both pretty good. Let's go with our bass for now and see what happens. The problem with our bass, a lot of people put it on the mix, they leave it like this and then they never touch it again. But you're getting that 60 Hz throughout the whole thing. And that's not always what you want. Sometimes you just want it to like, you know, hit at the big moments here, like that. Oh. Followed me? Oh, thank you very much. Ninja Tuna. So obviously that's too loud. Let's bring that down. And let's try and just automate this. We want it to hit here, and we want it to hit here. This stuff in the middle, that doesn't need bass, because that's just going to get super messy if we do that. So I'm going to just do this, go up to hit A, and that opens it in an automation lane. So I think we won't take it any higher than about here. So I'll do this. I'm not going to completely remove it, I'll take it to like -10 and we'll see how we get on. We might move it down a touch later on. Yep, that's not quite doing it for me. I'm going to try a subfiller. So we've tried our bass and we've tried subfilter. They're not giving us the results we want. And that's because there's nothing here that's actually that bassy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the art bass. I'm going to delete the subfilter. And then we're just going to layer things on that actually have a bit of, oh shit, that actually have a bit of bass to them. For this, there's a lot of things you could use, like kind of punching sounds and these Foley sounds from Boom Library. But I have got some, I should have sub type stuff. It doesn't need to be crazy. I mean, this is a bit, this kind of stuff. Okay, I know what I'm going to use. My neutron library. I'm going to go to here. We're going to use this. Well, we're going to try and use this. I don't know if this will work. I don't think it has worked, and I think it's because of the actual transient itself. So if we just have a listen to this soloed. Sounds kind of cool. I mean, maybe it could work as a layer like that. But then it's just getting a bit messy. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to bring the volume of this down because it's kind of loud. I will adjust it when it comes time to export. What could we do? So we could try something like this here, and then I'm going to duplicate that and put it here, just to see if it will work. And then on the master here, then I'm going to, and hopefully that will work. If not, I've got another plan. Not to worry. Where is it? Our base. We're just going to leave it at whatever it is at the moment. Bit loud. 75, that's quite high. I'll bring it down. I like 55, that's kind of decent, but these days I try and kind of sweep through it and find somewhere that actually... Pitch that down, pump up the volume. No. Yes. Well, maybe all we need, you know, it doesn't need to be crazy. Okay. Back to our base. We're clipping here. Now, I actually don't mind when most plugins clip. It's really not the end of the world. But for things like our base, that'll just sound so bad if it clips. So that. Okay, that sounded quite interesting. Let's see what else we can do. I actually made some of these last night, so I'm going to just double check the chain to see if there's anything cool that I'm kind of missing. Chorus would be cool. So I quite like these D16 plugins here. We've got Centaurus. And I just find I like a preset that sounds pretty decent. And then adjust that. You don't need to be a master of every single VST that you have. Sometimes going through the presets can give you some good ideas. And then you can just change them to however you like them. I really don't like that distortion at the end though. I think that might be due to... oh yes, due to this. Okay, so that's kind of cool. What we're going to do here, what I'm going to do is give these a color. Nice. Duplicate this, bring this over to here. I'm going to delete this thing here. I'm going to change the track color so I know that this has been deleted, just so, kind of to remind me. It doesn't matter. Macro on the keyboard, and it brings up this variator plugin. So basically you input whatever you want to do here, then you know, adjust the pitch, the rate and the fades and things like that, then hit mutate. But it's a bit funky sometimes, so I need to set these loop points. Control L and then mutate, and then let's have a listen to what we've got. So that's kind of cool. Let's hit the Chernobyl button and this kind of messes it all up completely. I think this is a bit much. Cool, that sounds interesting. We're then going to go and do the same thing here. these points, G, mutate. So that sounds cool. So we've got original. So I'm going to loop that. What's my macro thing for this? No. Is it T? No, it's not. I don't even know. Control R. Okay, so original. Okay, so I'm going to bounce this down and I'm going to show you what I would then do with it. So time selection, master mix, no tail. Browse goes here. So this will be 28. Show and explore it. Then we're going to drag it back into here. Are we not? Oh, it's here anyway. So just to kind of keep it neat, I'll make a new project here. And then we're going to stretch that out. Then we can do things like this. Same again here. I might not have the chorus. I think that sounds 29. Right, and we'll go back to here. So that's kind of the process I would use for this. I'd make all of these, put it in a new project, pitch it down, do some weird effects. Let's see how else we process this. Just for fun, let's try the Chernobyl thing again on this and just see what happens. Mutate. It's interesting. So maybe this has got a little bit too much bass. So after looking at it, I would probably go back here, open up this, maybe take our bass off. So then let's bounce that down. So I think this is like, what was it? 28. I'll say 28. No. Bass. Back to here. Bring this in. So then you've got things like this. So we could just cut this up and then make some like weird UI sounds from this. And I'll show you kind of what I do for that. It's nothing too fancy. You could use something like cubic G to get that weird granular type sound. I want it to be a bit slower than that. A bit quicker than that. Cool, and then we could try something like kilohertz dispersion. Yeah, not that bothered about that. Then Soundtoys crystallizer, something like this. Change the output mode. I don't really mess with this too much, but let's just try some things. Why not? Oops. Hmm. Valhalla Shimmer. So this is basically how I make a lot of the UI sounds. What you could do here is instead of having all of this, all these like electrical layers and things like that, you could swap them out for more UI type sounds. I'll show you what I mean. I don't think it'll work with this particular design, but I'll just show you the kind of things I would use. Something like... yeah, maybe something like that. So if we were to throw that in there, then delete that. Get rid of the electricity. Get rid of that weird thing there. Get rid of these two. Leave this here, adjust the pitch. And maybe I've got something better. Export this. UI. Oh shit. Back to here. Patch that down. Get rid of these. This can take a long time to get something pretty decent. But I mean, once you've done it all, and you end up with all of these. I mean, it's the exact same process. This is what I done last night. Nothing fancy there at all. Some camera sounds, some rock kind of impacts. Some other UI sounds that I've already designed. Yeah. And then you drag that into here and you end up with maybe that one didn't work. We combine all of those and you get things like this. So yeah, that's basically it. That's how I would approach the mech side of things and the UI. And these work really well as like for moving parts with things like, I don't know, moving doors, sci-fi, spaceships and things like that. It's good to have these things ready to go. Well, you might use the entire thing. Like you might not use all of this. But if you pitch that down, you could probably use the start, the loop thing here. Or you could just use this end bit. Or just that. So you've got tons of sounds and it's all like, yeah, comes together pretty quick. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to share. This will be on the YouTube page in like a day or something. So, nice one. Thank you very much. See ya.